The layoffs everyone predicted didn't happen the way they thought. AI didn't take jobs. It exposed which jobs were compensating for broken systems. Here's what's actually happening in most small businesses right now. You've got someone spending 6 hours a week copying data between systems because they don't talk to each other. You've got someone else whose entire job is following up on things that should have been tracked automatically. You've got meetings about why something didn't get done. That's not productivity. That's people compensating for the fact that your business runs on duct tape and hope. And here's the uncomfortable part. When AI came in, it didn't replace the person checking those invoices. It replaced the need for someone to check them manually in the first place. Because the only reason that job existed was that nobody ever built a system that worked. The job wasn't necessary. The system was broken. And for years, you hired humans to be the band-aid. Now you can. Here's what nobody wants to admit. If you look at your org chart, at least 30% of the roles are workarounds. Someone who manually reconciles accounts because your payment system doesn't sync. Someone who updates the website because your CMS is from 2015. Someone who answers the same 12 questions every day because you never built an onboarding doc. These aren't careers. They're patches on structural problems. And AI didn't eliminate those people. It just made it obvious that the problem was never the labor. It was the design. So what actually got replaced? Not your team. Your tolerance for bad systems. Because now there's an alternative that costs $20 a month instead of $45,000 a year. And that changed the equation. Every business has 3 types of work. Essential human work. Strategy. Client relationships. Creative problem solving. Judgment calls. Compensatory work. The stuff that only exists because something else is broken. Manual data entry. Chasing updates. Fixing errors that shouldn't have happened. Automatable work. Repeatable tasks with clear rules. Invoicing. Scheduling. Basic customer questions. Here's the problem. Most small businesses have those 3 in the wrong ratio. You've got 1 person doing essential work. And 4 people doing compensatory work because your systems are 15 years old and held together with macros. AI didn't come for the essential work. It came for the compensatory work. And it's winning. Let me show you what this looked like in practice. Small accounting firm. 8 employees. 2 of those employees did nothing but chase clients for missing documents. Email. Call. Email again. Update spreadsheet. Set reminder. Repeat. That was their job. Full-time. Owner brought in a client portal with automated reminders and document requests. Cost $79 a month. 2 weeks later, those 2 employees didn't have a job anymore. But here's the thing. The owner didn't fire them. He moved one to client advisory. Actual tax strategy work. The other one left on her own because she realized she'd been doing work a $79 app could do better. And the business didn't shrink. It grew. Because now they had capacity for higher value work. The job didn't disappear. The need for that job disappeared. Here's the deeper issue. Bad systems don't just waste time. They create jobs that feel real but aren't. Someone whose title is coordinator but whose actual job is make sure the system doesn't fall apart. Someone who manages workflows but really just manually routes things because there's no automation. Someone who handles operations but actually just firefights problems that shouldn't exist. These roles feel legitimate because they're busy. But busy doesn't mean valuable. It just means the system requires constant human intervention to function. And when you introduce technology that removes the need for intervention, the role evaporates. That's not AI taking jobs. That's AI revealing that the job was never the solution. It was the symptom. And here's the uncomfortable truth that nobody's saying out loud. If your job exists primarily to compensate for a broken process, AI will replace it. Not because it's smarter than you. Because it's cheaper and it doesn't get tired. You can't compete with that by working harder. You can only compete by doing work that requires human judgment. And if you're a business owner, you have 2 choices. You can fight this and try to keep inefficient systems running with expensive human labor. Or you can redesign your business around what humans are actually good at. Which is not copying data from one system to another. Let's be specific about what should have been automated 5 years ago. Data entry between systems. If a human is copying information from one place to another, that's a system failure. Appointment scheduling. If you're playing email tag to find a meeting time, you're wasting expensive cognitive labor. Basic customer questions. If you're answering "what are your hours" more than once, you failed at documentation. Payment follow-up. If someone is manually checking who paid and who didn't, your finance system is broken. Status updates. If people are asking where are we on this and someone has to go find out, you don't have visibility. None of this required AI. It required you to admit your systems were bad and fix them. AI just made the cost of not fixing them unbearable. Here's the actual pattern of what's happening. A human does something manually because there's no system. The business grows and that becomes unsustainable. Smart businesses redesign the system and automate it. The human moves to higher value work. Bad businesses just hire more humans to do the manual work. That worked when humans were the only option. It doesn't work anymore. Because now the alternative is faster, cheaper, and doesn't call in sick. So if you're running a business, the question isn't will AI take jobs? It's are we designing jobs around broken systems or around valuable outcomes? Because one of those is sustainable. And one isn't. If you're an employee watching this, here's what matters. Look at what you do every day. How much of it is executing a repeatable process? And how much is making judgment calls that require context and experience? If it's 80% execution, you're in the danger zone. Not because you're bad at your job. Because your job is automatable. You need to move toward work that requires human judgment. Client strategy. Relationship management. Complex problem solving. Decision making under uncertainty. That doesn't mean you need to become a manager. It means you need to become someone who creates value through thinking, not doing. Because the doing is going away. And it's going away fast. If you're a business owner, here's your move. Stop looking at your team and asking who can I replace with AI. Start looking at your systems and asking what's broken here. Every person doing manual work is a red flag. Not because they're doing it wrong. Because you built a system that requires manual work. Map out every process in your business. Find the ones that require human intervention more than twice a week. Ask, is this intervention necessary because judgment is required? Or because the system is broken? If it's judgment, keep the human and pay them well. If it's because the system is broken, fix the system. Then redeploy that human to work that actually matters. Here's what happens if you ignore this. Your competitors won't. They'll rebuild their operations around AI-enabled systems. They'll deliver faster, cheaper, with fewer errors. And they'll hire the best people to do strategic work while you're still hiring people to copy and paste. In 3 years, your cost structure will be 40% higher than theirs. Your team will be burned out from firefighting broken systems. And your best people will leave for companies where their brain is valued over their hands. This isn't theory. It's already happening. The businesses that survive the next 5 years won't be the ones with the most AI. They'll be the ones that stop tolerating broken systems. But here's the opportunity. Most small businesses are still running on systems from 2010. Which means most of your competitors are too. If you're willing to do the hard work of redesigning how your business operates, you have a massive advantage. Not because you'll have better AI. Because you'll have better systems. And better systems with decent AI beat amazing AI bolted onto broken systems. Every time. So the question isn't whether AI will replace jobs. It's whether you'll replace bad systems before your competitors do. Because the businesses that win won't be the most automated. They'll be the best designed. AI didn't replace jobs. It replaced the excuse for keeping broken systems. And if you're running a business, that's the best thing that could have happened. Because now you have to build something that actually works. Not something that just keeps people busy. Most businesses won't make that shift. You're not most businesses.